In the previous video, we saw how to launch or to start the Java environment in Jdoodle. And what I want to do here is just to walk you through the environment itself. So say you want to write your program. I don't use all these features. If you want to, you may go ahead. But for me, I just close this part of the application. And one of the things you might want to do is to rename Java file. So let's say we've been talking about house, right? And let's say I want to call this house application. I'll click these three dots next to this home button. I'll click that dot. And once I click the dot, I get this pop-up. I can delete, I can rename, I can download. Now, what I want to do at this time is to rename. Once I hit that, I can say house runner.java. Now, when you see this home button in Jdoodle, that means that this is the file that should contain your main method. Remember, we said that the main method is where your program starts to execute from. And so it's expected that you put your main method here, because this is where Jdoodle will look at first to begin this execution. I'll write a very simple program, and all this program would do would be just to output, welcome to the world of programming. Hey, newbie, welcome to the world of programming. And I'll go ahead to do that. Public class. Remember how we said that everything in Java is class-based, right? And we've said it's object-oriented. We're using classes to build objects. So public class. And in the video again, if you recall, we said the name of this file. In that example, it was main.java. And we said that name has to be the same thing here. In fact, let me go ahead and call this main.java. The name here has to be the same thing as what's here. So I'll call this main and the curly bracket. Now, remember, we said the curly bracket is just to show that there's going to be something within the body of that class. What I want to put in the body of that class is a place for Java to start executing. So when I hit this execute button here, which I will do in just a moment, what happens is that program starts running. And again, remember, this home icon here indicates that this is where Jdoodle would look at. And this is where Java will start executing from. So here, I want to have public static void main. Remember, we said that main is the name of the method that it's going to look for. And string of arguments, an array of string of arguments. So now, I just want to simply type, I just want to print out. The way to print out in Java is to say system.out.println. If you want to print a new line. And we'll take a look at this output in future videos. I'm saying, hey, newbie, welcome to the world of programming. Now, this is one thing I also do. You can collapse the left pane. So if you want to do that, you hit that button there. And to show it up again, you click this one. This toggles this, just like so. Now, I want to toggle it so that you can see everything I'm typing. All Java statements must end with semicolon. Now, if you don't understand what I've just said now, don't worry, you'll understand it later. But just know we should have a semicolon here. Now, if we go ahead to run this program, how do we know what we've done? Now we said it should output, hey, newbie, welcome to the world of programming. But how do we actually run it? in Jdoodle, the way to do that is to hit this execute button. And when we execute, I want you to pay attention here. You can see, hey, newbie, welcome to the world of programming. And once you're done viewing your output, you can close it here as well. So I'll go ahead to close it there. I'll reopen this. What did we talk about? House, right? So why not go ahead? Let's go ahead and create the house class. So in this case, I want to add one more file to this application. For me to do that, I'll go to this icon here. This is the icon to add a file. So I'll click on that icon and I'll call this house.java. Remember, we said that the name of the class has to be the name of the file. And so if we call this house.java, the name of the class inside that Java file should be house as well. And you'll see this again playing out in all the applications that we'll be developing. So house.java, that's the name we want to call it. Now, how about this other icon here? This is to create a folder. So let's say I want to keep house.java in another folder. Then I want to use this. And that creates a folder for me. But I don't need that just yet. So I'm going to close that up. I'll go to house.java. I want to say this, that don't bother about understanding all these lines of codes that I'm writing just yet. You'll understand it as time goes on because I'll still go ahead to explain some of these codes. All I just want to show you is how to run your application in Jdoodle. So I'll go ahead now to define that class. So public class house. What did we say houses have? In the case of our example, we used color, right? So we can say string color, but here, for the sake of encapsulation, we want to say private string color. Now, I'll go ahead to have a constructor here. So remember, we said the constructor has the same name as the class. So the constructor, the name of the class, and the name of the file, all of them should have the same name. Now here, we can choose to say we want to have color. Because remember, we passed in white, yellow, and green. Don't worry about understanding this program just yet. Just code along with me and I'll explain this. This is not where we ought to be. Just know that the purpose of this video is to show you how to run your application in Jdoodle. So I'll go ahead now to say this.color equal to color. And here, I just want to have a toString method. So I'll say at override, and I'll say public string toString. And here, I just want to return the color of the house. The color of the house is, and I will call color there. So back to main program here, the main class. I'll comment this out. And now we've said house, if you still remember, white house equal to new and house. And here I want to pass in the color white. I would have another house. Remember, again, this is just all I'm doing now here is from the video. And this is the essence of having that video, right? House, greenhouse equal to new house, green. And if you want to understand any of these lines, you can refer again to the video. Now I can go ahead to say system.out.println. And here I want to pass in white house. I'll go ahead to copy this in the interest of time. And I'll copy this yellow house. I'll paste it here. I'll copy green house. I'll paste it here on line 10. And if I go ahead to run this application now, what do you think? We've talked about this. This is the name of the class, right? We've talked about this. This is a reference variable. When you do new, you are creating that object. This is the constructor. And this constructor has one argument passed in. And what that means is that we should also have a constructor, which is this one, that has a parameter. And I know some of these things might still feel confusing, but like I said, this video is not meant to explain this code. This video is just meant to show you how to run your application using Jdoodle. Now I'm done with writing what I want to write. I can go ahead now and run the application. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. And if I didn't, we should get this. The color of the house is white, the color of the house is yellow, and the color of the house is green. I'll close this up again, and these are the basic things you need to take note of when you're working with Jdoodle. Here, I can save this program. Now, if I want to do that, I need to sign in, and that's where signing in becomes an advantage. So I want to log in. Once you do that, you can save this program. And so go ahead and do that. And here we can also share this application with someone else. So if I hit this button, I can create a share URL and send that to them. And by the way, I didn't receive anything from Jdoodle to do this. This is just my opinion of what works best for me and what I use. I don't really use it, but this is something I think might be useful as well for people who probably do not want to install any application on their system. So I'll see you in the next one. I would use IntelliJ IDE for the most part of this video. And so, but I'm just showing you this so you know that anything I do in IntelliJ would also work here as well. So I'll see you in the next one, and I'll talk about IntelliJ there. Bye.